What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video today, and today we're going to be talking about the recent announcement of Turok Origins at the Game Awards this past week. We're going to be covering everything you should know about the game, as well as if you should be excited about it or not. Let's get into it. So PlayStation released a trailer of the next installment of the Turok franchise, Turok Origins. It was announced alongside a bunch of other games at the Game Awards. This is the first Turok game in the franchise in 16 years. The game is being developed by Saber Interactive, the creators of Space Marine 2 and World War Z. It will be released sometime in 2025. We're not quite sure yet. If I had to guess, it's either probably going to be late summer, early fall, somewhere around there. And basically how this game, I expect it to fit into the larger picture of the industry, is it's looking to make a big splash in the co-op shooter genre. This game could be the proper revival that the franchise has needed for a long time. As we all know, this game's hasn't had a new game in 16 years, and a lot of people are fan favorites of the original trilogy, especially the first one that was on the Nintendo 64. And not only that people are excited about the game to be coming out, but also a lot of people are excited who is making the game, and that is Saber Interactive. Saber Interactive, I believe that this game is looking to put themselves in a position to be the premier developers in this co-op shooter genre. They've been able to hit home runs with World War Z, Space Marine 2, and now with this upcoming game, they're going to be put themselves in this upper echelon of development teams that you tend to think of in all of gaming, not just in the co-op shooter world. And also for us gamers out there, it's going to be another co-op shooter that's going to be hitting the market that could potentially make a big splash and could be really fun, and especially bringing back the classic IP that we're all used to. Now, I'm seeing it all over. People are excited, especially people who were fans of the original game. And my first reaction to when I saw the trailer was, I'm excited to see it come back, but then I'm also, what caught my eye, and I'm sure everybody else, is that this is no longer going to be a first-person game. This is going to be a third-person game, and that's going to be something interesting. I'm curious to see how it plays out as more footage gets released and so on and so forth. You know, the different exclusives and interviews that they might do. So I'm curious to kind of learn more about this game and this different approach that we're going to be getting of the franchise. And from what I saw from the trailers, the visuals and the cinematics and the gameplay were honestly extremely impressive. Like graphically, all the little gameplay snippets that we saw, the environments looked amazing. They look super detailed, and based on what we saw from their work in Space Marine 2, I expect the environmental design in this game throughout the levels to be impeccable, because everything that I've seen from Saber Interactive, from World War Z to Space Marine 2, has been just honestly top of class, like amazing. And then as for the character designs, I thought it was pretty cool to see them change their suits so fast, and like it kind of looks like you're some sort of like chameleon-esque suit where it will change to the environment that you're in to kind of camouflage and things like that. I'm curious to see how that's going to be done and how that works. Obviously, the facial animations, that was the first thing everybody saw. They looked incredible. Like, it was honestly, it looked photorealistic. Obviously, we're talking about a trailer, so I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to maintain that type of quality once the game is out. But we shall see. And obviously, like I talked about, they're changing from this third person to this first person expected. I have seen some people kind of not really like this move. Obviously, people that are diehard first-person shooters. I'm not against the idea of a third person. I think we're so far removed from those original games. I think you can kind of do anything not anything, but as long as you're staying true to the general world of what's happening, I think you can kind of leave things a little open-ended and kind of make things different. That we're seeing with Perfect Dark, for example. Like, the gap between the original Perfect Dark and even the last one that was on the 360 launch title to the one that's coming out this year, or 2025, it's going to be drastically different, to where it's almost creating a new game in that sense, but you're just keeping the same characters, you're keeping that same kind of world, but a lot of these mechanics and stuff are going to be completely different, or essentially brand new. So we've gotten a little hints about the story and whatnot. Saber Interactive said they want to explore a different direction from the previous Turok games. They said it will be a standalone adventure and does not require you to play the previous games. So I think that's pretty good for people who obviously are new to it, or maybe weren't even born yet. For me, it's been so long, I don't quite remember it as much. Like, I understand the gist of killing dinosaurs and there's aliens taking over and you're trying to save humanity, but I don't remember the minute details of the game. It's been a long time playing. and it's one of those games I should go back and play. And speaking of that, if I do want to promote my second channel, and that is Nostalgic Pixels, and that is a channel where we go over and play and revisit the classic games in the retro world and kind of review them and give retrospectives. And some of these games I'm playing for the first time and just experience them for the first time. So if you're interested in content like that, please check the link down below in the description to go subscribe to that channel and check out the videos that I'm posting over there. But anyways, let's get back to it. So what they do say is that despite the changes that Turok Origins has brought to the series, the latest installment will fit seamlessly into the Turok universe. Like the previous game, Turok warriors will fight to save humanity once again. And also what they said the premise is in Turok Origins, the aggressive alien threat looms, threatening to destroy all humanity throughout the universe. Players will visit different planets, travel through ancient temples, wasteland canyons, dense jungles, as well as swamps and caves. Each location promises a piece of the story full of unexpected challenges and surprises. So kind of what I'm getting from the story is like, you're going to be moving around, seeing all kinds of different environments. And we saw that in these last couple snippets of the trailer where you see these wastelands, you see the canyons, you see the dense jungles, you kind of see a desert from what it seems. You see some ancient structures. So it kind of lines up with what we saw in the trailer, and I'm kind of excited about that. I'm glad it's not just the same environment of like a jungle. You're kind of bouncing around because it is a sci-fi story where you're going to different planets or different areas of the planet. I mean, I'm not quite sure yet what they're planning on doing, but we clearly know though that no matter what, you're going to see different backgrounds and backdrops, and with that will probably come different dinosaurs and aliens of the like. So what we know from the release date so far is that it's going to be 2025. No set date. Like I said, it could be a range of different spots. I mean, lately we're starting to see games drop in the summer, and I almost feel like this could be that, but I'm not entirely sure if they're going to. I wouldn't be entirely surprised, and probably the most likely bet is going to be a September release or maybe an August, similar to what we saw with Space Marine 2. And based on Saber Interactive's previous games, they did the same thing with World War Z, as well as the World War Z Aftermath, like expansion reboot thing that they did with that game. But also the great news, it's going to be on all modern platforms, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5. No previous gen, it's just going to be the new ones, and obviously no Switch. And you know, little off topic, but surprising, no Switch 2. So you'd think maybe they'd try to find a way to put it on Nintendo since the game originally started on Nintendo, but I guess not. And you know, that sucks if you're a Nintendo person and that's all you got, especially if it's the new Switch. But I want to give a little bit of my opinion on what I've seen. So far my initial reaction is that I'm very excited. I'm glad that they're bringing back this classic franchise. I want to see more of that, bringing back some of these older ones that have been forgotten. Cough cough PlayStation, where they've just, you know, they've abandoned some of these older platforms. So I'm glad to see one of these older ones come back and kind of be revisited and give a new take on it. And also I'm excited that not just that they're bringing it back, but the people that are making this next installment, and that is Saber Interactive. Like I said, I've been super high on Saber. I liked what they did with World War Z, and then I was blown away by Space Marine 2 with the combat and and the story and what they built and the environments and the level designs and the enemy types. They blew me away with Space Marine 2. They took everything that they learned from World War Z and just elevated it to another level, even using a different IP. And like, you guys can check out my review of Space Marine 2 that I posted a couple months ago. But yeah, I was super high on that game. And Saber Interactive, from what it seems, they're kind of just adding to that with this new game to their roster. So I'm really excited. And yeah, I just do want to compare this to some other games in the series. Like I said, I'm not necessarily attached to the idea that it has to fall in line with the previous games. It has to leave off to where the story is, because quite honestly, like, I'm okay with it being the same world. And that's just me. I know some people are going to feel different about that. If you do, let me know. If you're a diehard Turok fan who loved the story that they put together. But from what I understand, even from what I can remember and recollect, it's not like the most in-depth crazy story. So I think a lot of people, and from what I'm seeing, a lot of people are okay with it not necessarily staying in line with the exact story, but as long as they're staying with the general premise of it and that it's a good game, a lot of people are going to be happy. I will say, from my expectations and predictions of what we can expect, and I plan on making more videos as we tend to learn more about the game and more gameplay drops, is I think it's going to be a solid game. I don't think it's going to shake up the industry in any sort of way, because maybe it doesn't have that big IP, but I do think it's going to be a game that's on a lot of people's radar. It currently already is, and it's going to make a pretty big splash. I think a lot of people are going to be really hyped about what they saw. I have a good feeling about this. I know with the current way that the gaming industry is, where you don't really know what game you're going to get, but so far it seems like we're tending to getting on a roll of like games coming out in pretty good quality, and especially from what we've seen with Saber, where everything they've dropped has been pretty damn good. So let me know what you guys think of this announcement trailer. Did you guys like what you saw? You're excited for the new Turok Origins? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you played the previous installments and you're upset about this new direction they're taking, let us know too. And if you guys want to see more content like this, where we're just discussing gaming news, topics, and gaming reviews, please like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.